Hello, hello. Welcome to Lesson 16 of the Alto Recorder Lessons Project video series. I'm Kenneth Sribnick, walking you through the units of the Sweet Pipes Alto books for adults and older beginners. In this video, we're going to introduce a new note, as we always do, this one having two names by which it'll show up in your music. High G sharp, also known as A flat. If you look at this keyboard, the fifth note up in the white keys from the left is a G. From G to A, we call a whole step. But if we go up a half step to the black key, we're going to G sharp. Now, if we go to the sixth white key and we go down a half step, we see that the same black key has another name, A flat. Two notes that have the same single fingering are said to be enharmonic. Our G sharp, also known as A flat, is an important note with either name. Sometimes students think music with more than one or two sharps or flats is more difficult music. That's not true. We need all our different keys to match how high or low some people's voices are, as well as to play along with other instruments like horns or strings. Some sensitive people say they feel or even feel colors from the different keys we play in. If you continue to drill and learn new and more flats and sharps, just as we've been doing, you'll be able to play more interesting melodies as composers tickle listeners' ears often with unexpected notes. If you continue to work the stepping stones of our path, the tuneful drills and melodies in our book's authors and I will make the rest of your journey painless. I promise. In a world full of turmoil and strife, making music is one of the things that make us glad to be alive. So far, our lessons have taught the first two sharps and the first two flats. In this lesson, by learning this one new fingering, you get the third flat and the third sharp that you'll encounter in music's key signatures. After this lesson, and the next, where you'll learn the same two notes just an octave lower, you'll be ready to read and play most all the music ever written with either three flats or three sharps. It's waiting for you to discover and enjoy. And speaking of discovery, it's also now time to introduce the International Music Score Library Project. You may have heard of IMSLP, the online sharing library of all the music that's in the public domain, which means the music is free for you to explore, download, and play. Don't get me wrong, there is music out there that's worth every cent to pay for, because very often someone took years to gather it together, correct and improve past printing problems, and perhaps transpose the key so you can play it on your Alto. Yes, good editors and printers are worth every penny, but printed versions that are old and perhaps no longer being sold are very often waiting for you at IMSLP. When you explore music not written specifically for your alto, or that may not have been compiled by an editor or publisher, you're on your own to find your way. We're learning the alto with its fingerings that start on F. A great deal of music that has been written for recorders, where the lowest note is C or some other note, exists on IMSLP. Other instruments write their music in other clefs. Bass recorders also come in C and F fingerings on the bass clef. When you visit IMSLP on your own, you have to be ready to be flexible about what you'll find, which amounts to all of music since the beginning of music. Music predates our civilization. Here's a Greek hymn that's from 600 years before the Common Era. Here's an archaeologist's rendering of music written in cuneiform found on an ancient clay tablet. IMSLP is ready to show you a world of music even before you're ready for it. But as your teacher, I feel you are ready at this point to start exploring a substantial amount of music that's out there on your own. Now, in the year I'm recording this video lesson, there are often differences between what you find on the internet using a phone and using a desktop computer's browser. On my phone, I can download IMSLP's program and take it to the pages. On a desktop computer, if we go to imslp.org, we arrive at the front door where you can even choose the language you want things to be in. There's a library portal where you can look for music by composer, time period, what instrument, or perhaps form, like the Galliards we played. But I want you to know about one special page I like via the browser. Search for IMSLP difficulty. And once there, click on Recorder. You'll arrive on the first page of a listing of recorder works grouped by the level of difficulty, ranging from 2, the easiest, to 12, the most difficult. Just for fun, let's look at the easiest piece listed. The first rigodon is Bois Mortier's C major suite. We click on its link and, well, it's for 2 recorders. Since duet melodies are often on the top line, try playing that line. We benefit from the sight reading practice even if we crash and burn and don't like the piece. If you hit the last page button for the most difficult pieces listed at level 12, not everything you find is going to be playable. Recorder players love Van Eyck. His music is in C fingerings. The majority of it needs to be transposed to be read in the alto's range unless you already know C fingerings and can make that transition in your brain. If you're a beginner, you can't do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you were earlier learned C fingerings on soprano, go for it. You can even play C fingerings on RF alto. You just aren't in the original key. That's not a big deal if you're playing alone. Playing C-fingered music on an F instrument can become a big deal if you try to play a piece along with, say, a guitar player who's reading the same music. The guitar will be in one key and you'll be in another. Train wreck. But I just wanted to open the door to IMSLP for you because you'll hear it mentioned a lot, and you are ready to start exploring carefully and being flexible. You can also search online for free downloadable sheet music for Alto recorder. You'll find a great deal there. But remember, you've invested a good bit of time in these lessons. It pays to finish them and learn all your notes. We want you to be a good sight reader that doesn't have to stop playing to look up something on a fingering chart. Not relying on the chart is true musical freedom. Now, speaking of sight reading, how did you feel you did on our last sight reading piece, number 41, All in the Garden Green? Did you find the happiness in it? At speed and without repeats, this is how I play it. Now that you've learned the notes and melody, try playing it to reflect your happiness. It doesn't have to be as fast as I might play it. Much like an actor assumes an emotion that the audience then feels, musicians do the same. Play more than just the notes. Play happy. Your audience will hear it. Give it a try. Our next sight reader is number 52, Hole in the Wall, also from Playford's Dancing Master. It's a hornpipe, another dance form, written by composer Henry Purcell around the year 1695 in his well-known Abdelazer Suite, which was a collection of music to be played during a then popular tragic play with the same name, Abdelazer. Why am I going so deep? Purcell is a very famous composer. The suite is famous, and once you know the tune, you'll start to hear its melody in movie soundtracks and such. It has a catchy 3/4 rhythm of 1, a 2E and 3 and 1, a 2E and 3 and. Sight read it, interpret it, learn and play it. I'll play it for you for comparison in the next lesson, number 17. Grab a pencil and let's circle what we'll be working on in this lesson. Circle 47, 48, 49, and 50. For tunes, let's circle, of course, 52, Hole in the Wall, that we just spoke about. Circle 54, which I'll play for you soon. But there's a group of drills to also circle that are out of place and in the middle of the lesson. Let's circle the 3 drills, number 55, 56, and 57. In these, we start to see our new fingerings with another name, A flat. Following the drills, circle melody 61 as well. I'm assigning the most complex of all this unit's tunes in the key of E flat, which has 3 flats in its key signature. But you have all the different skills already to play this music. We're getting you ready. There's a lot of great music out there in the key of E flat and its other name, C minor. If we imprint your memory centers now for music in 3 flats or 3 sharps, you'll benefit immensely as a player. Also, we seldom encounter recorder music in 4 sharps, meaning that after this, If you learn one more flat for music with 4 flats, you've pretty much got the bulk of the repertoire. Most of our future lessons will be additional fingerings for higher or lower versions of the notes you already know. You've achieved a lot. So what is this fingering with 2 names that's so pivotal to 3 sharps and 3 flats? Let's look at the header for our lesson 16 on page 13. As G sharp, it's the note immediately above our 5-line staff. And when written as A flat, it's 1 ledger line above that staff, much like the high A you've already learned. But notice our note's interesting fingering. No thumb, no left index finger, no right pinky. That's a new touch memory. Press on the holes hard and hold your instrument above your head. No thumb, no index finger, and no pinky. Hold it above your head, above your eyes. You'll imprint that touch and muscle memory. I'm told doing it that way has something to do with our ancient evolution. That imprinting, pressing hard and holding above eye height, imprints more deeply for some reason. It's worked for me for many years. As G sharp, this is what drill 47 should sound like. The first measure is important. It's the relationship between A natural and our new G sharp note just below it. It's quite different than some of the note changes we've had before. It will take time and practice to play this line. Don't beat up my student. Start out just going for the fingering changes without trying to play it as a tune. Make it a melody later. You need 47 for the drills that are coming. Drill 48 will go much easier. Here's that sound. As we get more into music theory, I'll introduce you to the 3 minor scales and their differences. But without going into it now, drill 49 has you play the 2 most common A minor scales. Notice that first has 2 sharps going up and none going down. The second has only 1 sharp played both up and down. They have very different and very beautiful sounds. You'll enjoy playing them. Here's their sound. Did I forget to say, slow way down as needed and get your playing of all this music perfect? Am I going to mention hiccups again? Every 5 minutes playing slow teaches you 5 times faster than playing fast 5 times. I like that. I may get a tattoo of that someday. We've got a lot of music in this lesson, but I want you to learn one of the tunes utilizing G sharp. Song 54 is going to fit that need and drill your rhythm reading at the same time. Learn to play Woodcock, and you're no longer a beginner. Master this little melody, and you're an early intermediate for sure. It's in 6/8 time with some very varied rhythms based on threes. The first 2 lines are the basic melody. The third and fourth lines are the same melody, played fancy. The last beat of the first line becomes the pickup note for the second line. I'm going to repeat that. The last beat of the first line becomes your pickup note for the second line. That same idea is repeated below when line 3 goes into line 4. I'll play it for you now. When you start to play the first measure after the pickup note in line 4, it may sound strange and as if you made a mistake. Play it crazy slow for accuracy despite that sound. What's going on is that without a new key signature or other way of telling you, you're actually playing in a new key for just one measure. That tickles the listener's ear. The following measure does the same thing, but in another key. Once you can play it absolutely on time, with the right notes, and with a little bit of speed, you'll be able to hear the composers suggesting the other keys in these measures. Once you've gotten all these G sharps under your belt, we shift into thinking of our new fingering as A flat. This isn't learning hot cross buns. This is real music. I promise that out in the future you'll look back and it won't be a big deal. Your brain is incredible and can slice and dice notes and tickle these tunes. Slow down at the start, but faster further out. You're an incredible member of a species that's just amazing. Now, drill 55, remembering that our high A's are flat, should sound like this. That gets you started. Number 56 contains all 3 of the flats that are in our key signature. Play it slow enough to see them coming at you as you play. Repetition will smooth it out. And lastly, the two minor scales, this time starting on C. These are C minor scales. A new rhythm, the Scotch Snap. This is a theatre melody. 'Twas within a furlong of Edinburgh town. Again written by our Henry Purcell in 1696 for a comedy titled The Mock Marriage. A furlong is an eighth of a mile, by the way. And once again, John Playford published this tune in The Dancing Master. Look at the next to the last two measures, which have lots of Scottish snap rhythms. Those measures are spoken 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E, 1E, 2E, 3. Play them for as much snap as you can. You can separate between each beat a bit too. Once again, I'll play it to give you a sense of it. And don't miss the first snaps at the end of the first line. You cannot play this tune if you're sleepy. There are no duets in the back of your book that are for this specific unit. So I've recorded a guitar accompaniment for The Oak and the Ash, number 58 in our book. The earliest version of the song dates to 1609. It's about a woman from rural northern England that moves to the city of London. London in 1609 wasn't a nice place to live. Now, in the city, she misses the trees she knew and loved back north. The Oaks and the Ashes. It's a song that resonates with anyone that has had to leave their homeland. You heard it at the beginning of this lesson. I also often play it slower as a sad song. I've recorded a guitar accompaniment for playing it 2 times through. There's a 2-measure introduction that includes the guitar indicating clearly the pickup note. Remember, on YouTube you can control the speed. Here we go. thumbs up, comments, and subscriptions. Everything and anything is appreciated. I'm told subscribers are notified of new lessons when they're posted. Happiness, not anger, music, not war. Thanks for all your work on these lessons. Your music makes this world way better. Thank you.